Hey y'all, and welcome to the cutest little thing. My name is Andrea, and I'm so glad to have you here today. I'm from southeastern North Carolina, and I love all things vintage, thrifted, upcycled, and DIY'd, and you will find all of those things here on my channel. I also have 2 vendor booths in my local small town where I sell my crafts and decor pieces. I'm so excited for today's project, so let's go ahead and get started. I grabbed this piece out of my stash. It's originally from Goodwill, and I paid a couple of dollars for it. So I just took that jute rope off. I cleaned it up really well, and I want to go in with Dixie Belle's chalk paint in the color Cucumber Ice. So I give it a good coat of that. I dry completely and go ahead and go in with a second coat. While that's drying, I grab another piece out of my stash. This piece is from Hobby Lobby. I got it from the clearance Christmas this past year. And I want to cover up that whole area where it says Merry Christmas. So I go in with that same cucumber ice color. I want to kind of make these 2 pieces matching pieces. So I'm going to make them similar. And I did decide to go ahead and paint over that outer edge, that frame piece. I was going to leave it the wood, but I kind of did a heavy dry brushing technique where a lot of those wood tones still pop through. And you can see the yellowish tint or it's a really creamy color that the cucumber ice has. It's a really pretty color in the Dixie Belle. And I go ahead and do a second coat over that wording as well. After it's good and dry, I grab my beautiful transfers from Essential Stencils. I have loved using these transfers this spring for my spring projects. I'm choosing a couple of these branches with the blossoms on them and a couple of birds. And I just place that branch down on my piece, just making sure it's where I want it to go. And I'm placing it before I peel that backing off, because when you peel that backing off and you lay that transfer down, it is stuck, or it usually is stuck, and you won't be able to pick it back up. So when I'm ready, I peel that backing off, I lay that transfer down on my piece. And you'll get a tool that comes with your transfers, and you just rub back and forth with that tool that they give you over your entire transfer while you slowly pick up on that clear piece of film while you rub back and forth slowly and carefully until the entire transfer is adhered to your surface. And then I just kind of take that piece of film and burnish over my transfer, making sure it's adhered and there's no air bubbles in between. The branch didn't quite meet to the very edge of my piece, so I cut a little piece of branch from the transfer that I had left, and I sized it to fit where I could lay that right down and bring that branch all the way to the edge of my piece. And I grabbed one of those birdies that you saw in that packet, and I want to sit him right on the branch. Position him, sort of off-center him just a little bit. And again, take that transfer tool, rub back and forth, and do the same technique to get that one to adhere, just like we did the branch. Once that's completely down, we'll just burnish that in as well. And this is just making sure you don't have any air bubbles and making sure your transfer is down completely. And look how cute this is already looking. I just love these transfers from Essential Stencils. And I laid another branch up at the top over my bird. Same theme, same technique. And I found a smaller bird in that pack, so I decided to add him to that branch where he would kind of be over that other bird. And then I added a few more of the flowers that was in that same packet. Now back to this piece. It's good and dry. So I'm taking this stencil from Essential Stencils, and it says Amazing Grace. And I want to go in with the color Spanish Moss, and this is the Dixie Belle chalk paint as well. And I'm also using an Essential Stencils stencil brush. And y'all, these brushes work so well. I recently got them this year and have been using them this spring. And I really love them. So definitely check out their stencil brushes. After 2 coats of the stenciling, we are ready for the reveal. And look how pretty that is. I just love how that looks. And then I took a really tiny paintbrush and dipped in that Spanish moss color and filled in those gaps where the stencil was, also known as filling in the bridges. So I got all of those filled and then dried that really well. And then, of course, we had to add some birds. It's not complete without our birds. So I grabbed a couple of those birdies from that same Essential Stencils transfer packet. I loved these. They were both sitting on the branch, a variation in the colors. So I applied those at the bottom with my transfer tool. I got that burnished in, and then I thought the top needed something, so I added a little birdie like he was standing on the G, and I thought that was just the cutest little thing. But I got him applied, and he matched the birdie at the bottom, and I just thought they went so pretty with that Spanish moss color. I thought that was the perfect color, and burnished him in as well. And I just love how this is turning out. And to balance it out, I added a branch to the other side over the wording to make it look like these birds were in the tree and there was just branches all around them. Once I got it all situated how I liked it, I decided to seal everything in with the Sweet Pickins beeswax in the dark. I first went around all the edges and the sides and went a little darker and then blended everything in all over. And I just love it. Okay, getting back to this piece, I wanted to make a chippy paint effect around the frame of that picture. So I took a butter knife, a plastic butter knife, sort of using it as a spatula, and that same Spanish moss color, and you saw me dip the butter knife into the paint, and I scraped off most of the excess, and then I'm just rubbing that butter knife over the area that I want to make the chippy paint effect, and really don't put a lot of thought into it, just rub it over the area you want it in, or you want it on. And then if you get too much paint in some of the areas, you can always go back over with your other color, which our base color on this was the cucumber ice. So anywhere I get a little too much of the Spanish moss color, I will just go back over with the cucumber ice. And you just kind of keep layering your paint and using the chalk paint. Chalk paint's a thicker paint anyway, and applying it with this butter knife, or you could also use a spatula tool. Just rub it over, and it just creates a chippy look, making it look like the paint is old and worn and has just been painted so many times over the years. And I just love the look that it gives. And you could do several colors as well. And I did decide to go in with another color. This is DIYS Aviary, a beautiful green. And I thought it matched the leaves in our picture so well. So I did the same thing with that popsicle stick, dipping it into the paint, wiping off most of the excess, and rubbing it over the outside and inside edges of my frame. And that just added another variation in color, creating more of a layered look and giving it more of an older, worn out look. Y'all let me know if you've ever tried this technique. I also decided to go around the edge of my other piece, the Amazing Grace piece that we did as well. I went in and scraped on the Spanish moss. And where I got it a little too heavy, I went back over with the cucumber ice. See, that's what I was telling you. If you got too much paint in one spot, you could just go back over it with your other color. And now we're ready to get these all waxed up. Again, I'm using the beeswax in the dark. And you want to make sure your paint is completely dry before you go in with your wax. And then just go in with your blender brush, or sometimes I even use a stenciling brush because those brushes are a little bit rougher. And apply your wax as heavy or as light as you would like. And I did lightly go over the front of my pieces and over my transfers as well. And that wax will seal in those transfers as well as sealing in our chalk paint as well, because this Dixie Belle chalk paint does not have a built-in sealer in it. I decided I wanted to add some embellishments to the bottom of this one, sort of like a shadow box. So I applied some hot glue, and I'm using reindeer moss here, and I'm placing that reindeer moss down at the base of my picture. I love reindeer moss. I love the color that it is, and you can pick it up from your Dollar Tree or your Walmart, really any craft store. I'm sure Hobby Lobby has it as well. Next, I took some Spanish moss, and we are going to make a bird nest for our birdies. I just thought that would be the cutest. So I make my bird nest a lot of times using Spanish moss and floral wire. As you saw, I just kind of placed some Spanish moss in a circular shape, sort of placing my thumb in it to make it a bowl shape, and then I just wrap my floral wire around it. I will go around it, and then you can bend that floral wire, making it even more of a bowl shape, and sort of crisscrossing your floral wire as you wrap it around. Continue wrapping it around until you think it's sturdy enough, and then you can cut it and you can hot glue it to help hold that floral wire in place. Just keep playing with it until you get it how you like it, and you can make them as big or as small as you would like as well. We didn't need this one very big to place at the base of our picture, and I just hot glued it right on the bottom, right in the corner of that picture. And so, of course, we need eggs to go in our nest. I grabbed these little wooden beads. I thought that they would be a good size for our nest here. And I just placed them in my paint lid and painted them. This is once again, that cucumber ice color that we've been using. And you can put these down on a piece of painter's tape while you paint them and help hold them in place, and that works really well. But I was just kind of hurrying here to get these painted, and then I dried them really quickly with my heat tool. And then I just simply put a dab of hot glue in the center of that nest, place those eggs in there, and I like 3. I like using odd numbers. And that's that, y'all. Look how pretty this is. I just love how this turned out. I love that chippy look around the frame. And y'all, this one we did on a live. If you're not following me over on Facebook, I hope that you will head over and find me. And I do go live over there 2 to 3 times a week. And I ended up finding a little wooden spindle or candle holder in my stash, and I put that one on that candle holder. And I painted it to match that shadow box that we did on our live. And there's our Amazing Grace piece. I just love the 3 of these. I love them all staged together. And I just think they are beautiful for spring. The colors and the birds. I love birds all year long, not just in the spring, as well as the nest and things, all the things. Y'all, let me know what you think of these. I hope that you love these projects today. I think they are too cute. I hope that you are enjoying today's content. If you are and you're not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider before you leave today. Hit that notification bell. Be sure you are receiving all notifications. I would love for you to become part of our YouTube family. Okay, let's get back to the DIYs. I grabbed another little shelf sitter out of my stash. I had already painted it in the cucumber ice chalk paint in the Dixie Belle, and Essential Stencils also has these cute little bunny transfers, so I applied one of those on there. Now I'm taking this stamp from, it's either from Temu or from Amazon, and it's got all this pretty bark detail on it, and I wanted to have some detail on here, so I'm just stamping all around the edges of this piece. Once that was done, I grabbed my Bodabra and I went in with various ribbons. If you're wondering what that noise was, that was my little girl on her pogo stick. She was just bouncing away in there. But I took some chiffon ribbon and some lace, and I just looped it all in the Bodabra like you see here, and then pull up on those jute strings and give it a good tie. I do like to double knot it just to make sure it's holding in place like it should. Then you can trim away those excess jute strings and get your ribbons and loopies all situated. Take out any extra strings. And I had a little heart that says love on one side, and I wanted to glue that right to the center of that bow just to embellish that bow. I thought the wood tones would match the bunny really pretty, and I just liked how it had the word love on there. And then I hot glued that to the corner of that shelf sitter. And look how sweet this is. Just a very simple upcycle. So check your Goodwills when you're in there. I love to check Goodwill for surfaces. You can find surfaces all different sizes, made of all different things. And I did decide to add a tag as well. I grabbed this cardboard tag that I get from Amazon, and these letters I got from Hobby Lobby. But if you don't have access to a Hobby Lobby, you could order online, or maybe if you have a local craft store, they might have some stamps as well. I did trim it. It was a little too big for my piece, so I just trimmed it up. And then I like to hot glue my tags in place, and then I'll kind of cover the little hole with some of the ribbon. Last but not least, I wanted to seal everything in with the Sweet Pickins beeswax, and this is the dark, and I just brushed over mostly those edges. I got those darker, and then I lightly blended in over the front of it and over the transfer and everything. And that's that. This cute little bunny shelf sitter is complete and perfect to stage up on your shelf or on a stack of books. I think it is too cute. Y'all let me know what you think. I am so excited to announce that I am now an affiliate for Digital Deco Designs. If you are not familiar with this company, I hope that you will go and check out their Facebook page and their website. Here are just a few recent projects that I have done using their prints. You can get rice papers ordered and delivered to your mailbox, or you can purchase the instant downloads and print them at home. I will include my affiliate link in the description of this video, and you can also find my affiliate link over at my Facebook page pinned to the top of my page. And here are our projects from today, all staged up once again for one last look. I hope that you loved how these turned out today. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know where you're watching from, and also let me know if you are new to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed rest of your week, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye for now, friends. I am a retailer for the Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. You can contact me over on my Facebook business page. All you have to do is send me a message. I keep the $7 packs in stock. And I also have the link to my Facebook page in the description of this video. So message me for your milk paint orders, and I appreciate all of your support.